So tomorrow, as many of you guys know, is the CPI data report, which is the Consumer Price Index report. This is where we will have a better understanding if inflation goes up or down. So here's everything it is that you need to know. I hope that you learned something new. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. With that being said, overall NASDAQ market closed 0.66% in the green and at one point making new all-time highs since the initial sell-off after the trade war started for QQQ. We hit highs of 534.90 and then retraced into the extended hours. Tesla was one of the biggest winners in my opinion today, and that's shortly following the news of the Tesla full autonomy vehicle launching in Austin, Texas. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But before we even get into it, let's go ahead and just jump right into what a lot of people are talking about right now. It says, breaking: Bloomberg reports that U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is possible contender to succeed Fed Chair Powell. A lot of you guys might not know, but Fed Chair Powell is coming up on his term, and that means that a new person could potentially get elected. So what they're stating is that Treasury Secretary could be possibly appointed by Trump to be the head of the Federal Reserve. Last week, Trump said that his pick for the next Fed chair is coming out very soon. So again, this is something that we'll have to pay close attention to and to see if this will mean hawkish or bearish for the overall market. With that being said, the main reason that we're probably watching this video is because of what's bound to happen tomorrow. So tomorrow we are set to receive the CPI inflation report before the June Fed meeting. So what this means is that, again, this is where we pretty much track if inflation is going up or down. Where do you find this report and when does it get released? So first off, the report gets released on a monthly basis, and it gets released on a website listed, as you guys can see up here, bls.gov/CPI. It's 1 hour before the market opens tomorrow, June 11th. So that's going to be right around 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm here in Hawaii, so I will not be going live because it comes out at 2:30 a.m. Hawaii time. So again, it's my last day today. I'm going to spend time with my family, and I do not want to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to go live to watch this report. I will be paying attention to it, and if you're part of my LPV team, I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date, but I will not be going live for that CPI live stream. With that being said, again, once the report gets released, you guys can refresh this, and under the PDF, you'll be able to see what the actual new report is. As you guys can see, this one was released on May 13th, 2025, and it covered the month of April. So what we expect is now the month of May to be reported, and that's going to be released tomorrow. So when the new month of May is added, we remove the old month of May. And again, if you've paid attention to my live streams for the CPI report, you know what I've been cautioning investors, right? Is that last year, for those that do not know, the CPI report mainly takes the last 12 months into consideration. By taking the last 12 months into consideration, and that's how our CPI report or inflation report is calculated, if we take away last year, 2024, when there was no increase of inflation in the month of May, and we add a new rate of inflation, and we'll most likely see a jump, that means that our inflation rate is bound to go up, right? Because with what we take away versus what we add, we're taking away nothing and we're adding something. Versus the prior months where we take away 0.3% of an increase, that's a pretty solid increase, and we might only be adding 0.2. So that is why we've been seeing in recent months inflation report drop, because the months that we've been taking away have been most likely greater than the months that we've been adding. But tomorrow that all most likely will change. Tomorrow we're taking away the month of May that saw no increase, so we're not taking away anything, and now we're adding something, so therefore our inflation rate is bound to go up. So according to investing.com, what is expected for tomorrow, core inflation is expected to rise from 2.8% to now 2.9%, seeing a 0.3% increase. And overall CPI, which is all items including food and energy, is expected to go from 2.3% to 2.5. Some people are even forecasting that we can even see numbers as high as 2.9%. So I'm sorry, that's core CPI, which is different than overall CPI. Core CPI is all items less food and energy. But again, inflation report tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. If we come in higher than what is expected, then we'll see how the markets react. Markets are very irrational right now, so I really don't know what it is that they're going to be looking for. Do they want higher rates of inflation so the Federal Reserve can start cutting interest rates lower or sooner, or do they want lower rates of inflation so it doesn't look like things are as bad? Again, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, these markets are so irrational. So instead of trying to predict, all we can really try to do is prepare, right? You don't have to have an open position in your trading account. You can stay cash, wait for the markets to react, and then see if an opportunity begins to present itself. But again, ever since the drama between Trump and Elon, it looks like markets have been trying to settle. Trump is trying to figure things out with China. Tesla looks like it's, again, trying to go back within its course. It says, breaking news, Tesla Model Y robotaxi was just seen or spotted testing in public roads in Austin, Texas. This is the first time that we've seen it, and then Elon took to Twitter where he stated that this is the same vehicle that you can purchase yourself right now. So again, this is just with the full autonomy actually upgraded into the software. So we'll see how things continue to develop. As long as there's no accidents, this should be bullish for Tesla, as we've been waiting for 5 to 10 years for this full autonomy to come out. But again, if anything ends up happening where there's an accident and it's viewed as the fault of the full autonomy, just like we've seen with Waymo before, it could really hinder the process for self-driving vehicles, right? It's not rocket science, it's pretty common sense. So let's just make sure that we're paying close attention to it. Right now they launched in Austin, Texas. They plan to also launch in other populated areas, and the more that they launch, maybe the more bullish it can be until an accident happens, and then we might see a little retracement there. So stay patient, stay calculated. I still think that Tesla is incredibly overvalued based off of recent fundamentals, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like the market cares much about fundamentals, as it is just running off of the hope and the hype of the hopeful deal between China and the US. So we'll see how things continue to develop. I'll do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Just wanted to make sure that you guys were well aware. CPI report tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. And I hope that you guys have everything that you need to better prepare. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.